Welcome back to game number 7, the Hockey Nation Live Show. This is your hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchy, back in the booth, and we are preparing the game number 7 here in the booth. We have a busy day. First of all, we want to start this show because here, if you live in USA, it's a happy Memorial Day weekend. So today is a Memorial Day. I just want to, take 2 seconds here to thanks, everyone. A big thank you to all of our Army Force Division, to everyone who served our country, to all who have ever served, and to those who made the ultimate sacrifice, the bravery and the courage you show protecting this great nation, make you true hero. So for the Hockey Nation Live Show, we want to say to you, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And today, it's all about you. So we want to tell you again, thank you so much. And first of all, like we do every show at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, we're going to have Michael Devellano is going to join us about 10, 15, 20 more minutes. We're going to talk about all the game tonight. But first of all, like we do every single time, we have to welcome the first one show up this morning, Mr. Le Mario OW. Secondly, directly from the Tampa Bay Lightning's #1 big fans inside the Hockey Nation Live Show, welcome Kimberly Shepard. Sometimes it's Kimberly Anna. And directly from Finland, he is the man, the only one we have from Finland. Welcome, Riamo Virtanen. Oh, we have to go directly from Quebec, find the only one. Before we said this name, we have to welcome his daughter, sa petite fille, Livia, and the dad, Batman. Oh, and directly from South Florida, a little bit, a couple of miles from me, maybe northeast or northwest, more northwest, we have to welcome the big fan of the Panthers, Mr. Gator Rockton. And now Kimberly's transformed from Kimberly Shepard to Kimberly Ina. Welcome, Kimberly, again. Double Kimberly this morning. First of all, we don't ask for donation. We don't need money. Not right now. Just kidding. But the point is, we're looking for one thing. We're looking for likes. So the thing you have to do right now, we take you 5 seconds. Scroll the bottom of your video on the right side. Click on the likes. And don't forget to make some comments, everything like that. We have a big show today. I don't know. If you're Montreal Canadiens fans, that's what you're looking for. That's what you want. That's what is the hockey, passion about hockey in Canada right now. That's what every people, the players, the staff, the family, the fans, everybody want the game number 7. We are there. This is the ultimate game special. As a hockey fans, you just live for that. You live for that moment. So us, today is all going to be game number 7 tonight. Big show. We're going to start at 6:30. The live stream tonight. We're going to talk about the game, pre-game tonight. Of course, we're going to be ready for the game. And I can't wait to do that. We'll be running to see. We have a great show last night. If you've been there, of course, the Colorado Avalanche completely destroyed the Vegas Golden Knights. I think the biggest question after on the social media, everywhere in the hockey world, it was about the decision of the head coach, Peter Daubert, to go with Robin Leonard and not with Marc-Andre Fleury. And as a head coach, you have to go with your feeling. And sometimes it does not work. Sometimes it works. But I'll be honest with you, you cannot blame only Leonard yesterday. Of course, the backhands first goal on Rantanen. You should stop it maybe, but, the completely Colorado completely destroyed the Vegas in my book. And what about the Torpedo, the Storm, the Hurricane, Mr. McKinnon? OMG, Mr. McKinnon is unbelievable. And I want to share with you what I don't know if I have this here for you guys, but I'll maybe find it a little bit later. I found a quote about the McKinnon. I believe he's a number 91 or 92 players top salary in NHL. So you have a 91 players right now in NHL have a bigger salary for them. So that's amazing. One, the contract they did with him last, couple of years ago, it was a great bridge, a great decision for the Colorado Avalanche about that one over there. Let me check about this because I forgot to put on the screen right now and the comments. So I want to share with you what I think the Gravit, that's another the subjects coming right there. It's easy to say after the score, any decision you take, right or the bad one. Sometimes it could be change the line. You adjust your line with what you see on the ice. After the first period, the second period, and you're losing 3-1. So you know what? I may be changing my line number one with the center or whatever it is. And I think, you have to be responsible of your decision. So that would be the big one over there. Then during the game, you have earlier, I think it was in second period, I believe. I could be wrong. A big hit to Ryan Greaves on Mathias Janmark in the corner. Janmark had the puck. He was battled with one another player for the Avalanche. Dropped past puck behind him. And when he did this, he never see Ryan Greaves. The head was turning, whatever it was, the head situation. And Grave came to him a little bit late there for me on my book. It was not a bang play. In hockey, you have a 0.5 second to hit someone. So Greg could not decide if he have to hit or not. But anyway, at the short story, he hit Janmark, and Janmark get out of the game with a concussion. Legal hit, like the skate was not on the air, the shoulder was down. He had no elbow high on Janmark. He's a little bit smaller to Graves, and that's why he hit the head very badly on the board. But as a referee and everything like that, when you analyze, it was a late hit, and that's called a 2-minute interference or roughing, whatever you want to call it. So Graves got it. Now the game's getting a little bit crazy, 6-1, something like that after 2. And then after that, you got the Ryan Graves situation show up. Ryan Graves show up, and you have something happening before in front of the net, and then Ryan Graves pick up Ryan Reeves, pick up Ryan Greaves, and then he turned his head, he hurt his head, and it was all the eyes hurt. Everything like that. So the situation we see now, what was going to happen? Can the situation going to be suspended? Do you believe Ryan Graves is going to get a fines? All those questions, we're going to ask those questions. I'm not expert. I'm not co-host, Mr. Michael Devellano, because, guys, we have to welcome the only one. We have the co-host directly from Austin, Texas this morning, Mr. Michael Devellano.
It says, I think I'm taking Frank Wells' spot, Pierre.
We're now changing your name, right? So
I love it.
Mr. Michael, first of all, happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day, Pierre. You sound like you're losing your voice there.
And the game did not start yet.
Too much screaming.
Yep. So, and yes, he was screaming, we turned that. First of all, Mr. Carey Price is in the house right now, right here. Mr. Carey Price, I'm sure he's ready to rock and roll Michael tonight.
He's been
You don't
stealing the
know
show so far.
you know Carey Price is a really big fan of the horse, the bulls, right? He's he's like there's at a very young age, but our Carey Price is really a great cook. So he cooked amazing. If you follow Frank well, you have some video of Carey Price cooking at home in Quebec. So it's pretty neat to see Carey Price cooking like that. We have a lot of great guests here. We have Carey Price. We have usually Kim and Terry Piccola, right? Sure, usually. So, and then Yamu said he hit Grover. We're going to talk about this for sure with Michael. Michael is going to bring his his comments about what happening yesterday, everything for sure. But first of all, Michael, I want to mention to you first is the Memorial Day today for everywhere in the country. I know you're already in Austin this weekend, right?
Yep. We were here all weekend.
It's crazy about that one over there. We're going to talk about what happened yesterday. We're going to talk about what's happening tonight because I think the biggest game is like, you're born in Ontario, born in Quebec, and as a kid we grow, we only focus on rivalities and game number 7, and you dream when you, at a young age, when you want to play NHL one day and you dream about pick up the Stanley Cup and those moments, right? And how you're going to see who's going to be step up those games tonight. And I'm going to mention to you a couple of things for sure the next couple of minutes, what I think about that game and tell all the people here on the comments or the fans we had this morning. But before we start, I want to mention something happening last night at the live stream. And I want to thank him. And I want to mention this because I think, unfortunately, we did not turn this very well at the end of the show because we got swamped by Twitch, bad people. So we shut down quickly last night and we shut down the
Twitch?
Twitter, the Twitch, bad comments, written on that, but it's happened, right? But before that, Michael, I don't know if you know him, but the hot hockey guy, he's a big fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He have about 35,000 subscribers, everything like that. But he said to the chat, you should support the Hockey Nation Live show.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we got about 40 subscribers in 5 minutes.
Amazing.
And we have people like a couple of
man.
people from Winnipeg, very great conversation. James, we got a guy from Indiana, great conversation. We have another guy from Colorado. So we got about 7, 8 of those 40 pick it up. Great conversation last night. And just want to mention, so we jumped about 260 subscribers, Michael, yesterday from
Beautiful.
about...
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it was about 230, 238, 28. So it was great to see him for the hot take hockey to mention us, and he wants to support us. So that's sometimes it's great to see people care about
Thank
other
you so
people,
much.
right? They've been there, right? I'm sure he started like us many years ago and with nobody. So I just want to mention to you about that one over there. And we got over 68 likes yesterday. It was over 60 likes. So it was great to see those people join us. So NHL, welcome aboard. So, Michael, we're going to catch up. I know you have a lot of things you want to catch up, you want to talk about. But first of all, I want to talk is the game between Carolina and Tampa Bay Lightnings. What do you think about that game and what you're feeling about that?
It was pretty much as I expected. Like, it's going to be I think it's going to be a tough series, but, one small mistake by Noah Kovac is what the difference was. And I think we said this yesterday that if you make any mistake, Tampa is going to capitalize on it. And that's why they're such a great team. They have so many weapons. And it was such a small thing that ended up in that second goal. But he played great. Both goalies played great. And I don't think Carolina is outmatched here. I think that they, I guess we'll see, they got to get a win in the next game, I think. They got to keep it tight all the way through. If they don't win the next game, then I think it'll be a 5 or a 6 game series. But, well, maybe 5. Tampa's so dialed in here. It's crazy.
I agree with you. What do you think about the performance overall, about, Tampa Bay, about Vasilevsky?
I mean, he had a phenomenal game. I think he was outshot last night, wasn't he? He had 37 or 38 shots.
Yeah.
So it was
38
pretty
shots for
impressive.
Carolina over him. I think it was the big difference for me.
Oh yeah. And again, like, the other goalie played great too because he faced like 30 or 31 shots. And it was just that one mistake that was the difference in the game. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a good series. I think Carolina will figure out how to get a win here. And then that'll be the difference. But if they don't split this first two games, I think it's going to be tough. I think that'll be kind of the end of it. You're not going to be able to beat Tampa. You can just see how many weapons they have, how on point they are on everything. The goaltending's great. Hedman is so much better than anybody. I mean, he's got the size, he's got the speed, he can make good decisions, he can shoot the puck. Like, he's such a complete defenseman.
I agree with you. For me, it's like, it's a two-team really strong on power play. Both score one goal, but I was like, Carolina should score more goals, 1 and 5 only. But I think for me, Vasilevsky have an amazing, great game. Keep the team. He got swarmed at the first, second period, Michael. He was coming from everywhere. Keep the, he's so good. He's so square. He's so controlling his rebound.
Vasilevsky, yeah.
Everything like that. So for me, this is going to be late. Nobody's going to win in 4 and 5, 6 games there. I expect this to be all the way to the end, to be honest with you. It's funny, it's like Jake Bean scored a goal in power play for Carolina. Shnevnikov have an assist, a fast on that one over there. But again...
If you've been watching Carolina, you'll see Jake Bean is on the first power play unit every time. So he's been on, like, even last series, I was like, wow, Jake Bean's running a lot of the power play. So yeah. He's really kind of come around. Like, it's a nice thing because he was a draft pick there and he took a little bit of time in the minors, and he's a very good defenseman. I mean, they got another top 4 D right there, and we know that Dougie Hamilton's unrestricted, so if he doesn't come back, they at least have some backfill. I don't think he's going to replace Dougie Hamilton necessarily, but he's very good on the power play.
And again, if you look about this game also, and it's happened all the time. The best team have those kind of players, Michael, and I'm talking about Barclay Goodrow. And, every team, like Islanders, right? It's Barzal, Eberle, Nelson, Bailey, and Palmieri, right? Bajo, Bouvillier. But we always forgot Martin, Kilderbrook, and Zankines, right? Those guys, the bottom 6, right? And I think Goodrow, Coleman, Gord, a little bit more, but I believe more about Goodrow and Coleman. Johnson had a good game yesterday, by the way. Tyler Johnson had a better game, but Goodrow, Coleman, Michael, they are really, really, you need those kind of players if you want to win the championship to go all the way to the end.
The one note is it sounds like Niederreiter won't play at all.
Who?
Nino Niederreiter. Looks like he's out with a shoulder or something, upper body.
Yeah, he got hurt about that one. I think it was the last game, something like that, right?
They're saying he's not going to play the rest of the series.
Yep. They bring Parkett yesterday in the lineup for them, right? Lawrence played already. But, Nikish has 6 shots yesterday on the net.
He played great.
He's really the one step up. He's one of the most improvement player for me, Nikish. He reminds me a little bit what Roslovic did for Columbus. I think Roslovic, he's get out his edge. And then Nikish, I think he does the same thing. I really like Patchy yesterday for Carolina. I think Patchy played very well, solid over there. It's a game that 2-1.
Oh, Pesci?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pesci's such a solid defenseman. They've got guys that we don't, they're not flashy, but he's a very good defenseman. I remember when they were talking about trading him or Slavin. I'm like, why? Like, keep them both.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good for a team visit another team to win the first game, right? When you're on the road for the playoff, a best of 7, you're always looking for game number 1, 3, 5 usually. But Tampa Bay took charge about this. They take, we'll see game number 2, what expectation. But great game overall for that one. And then we have to move on. Game number 2, Michael, tell us a bit more about that game where I think it was like, wow. I think most of the people on the live stream yesterday was like all shocked. First, to see Robin Leonard. I think that was the biggest shocking for me at the beginning of the game, right? But after that,
Yep.
you see the hurricane, avalanche, and storm, all night after that. Whatever he was in the net at the end of the day, I don't think so. He would be like.
I think it would have made a huge difference. The guy was an 811 save percentage, Pierre.
I'm sorry
That's
again?
not like his save percentage was 811. They didn't have that many shots. I guess he
Oh
did.
no,
There's like
but at the end of the
37
day,
shots, yeah,
it would not
on
change
the power
anything.
play.
He gave only a bad goal, the first one of the back end, I believe, on Ratton. And for the rest, back door, two power play.
Yeah, there was
goal.
definitely some problems on the ice, but I got to think that even if Fleury was a 900, that's a different game, right?
I don't
Like,
see
that's
Fleury
pretty-
would make it from last night. I don't see.
Yeah.
I see a team Vegas tired.
Maybe.
Again, a team was ready to play with 10 days
very
off.
refreshed, and they played well.
They jumped right away at the beginning, and at the end of the day,
Yeah, I think the outcome probably would have been the same. I don't know if it would have been 7-1 though.
no, then maybe not. You know what I mean? Like could be, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I would not see Vegas in the game a lot last night. Whatever
No,
he was,
I
the
think it would have been
goaltender.
a 4-1 game or something though.
So again,
I bet you that's a 4-1 game instead of a 7-1 game, So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back. You got to assume they're going to go back to Fleury in the next game. I don't know what other adjustments they got to make, but they got to be like their defensive rotation was terrible. Like that, we had saw play after play where they're missing assignments, and there was huge amount of space for Colorado, and you can't give Makar that much space. You can't give that one goal with that went weak side to Landeskog. You can't give these guys walking in with speed that much space. Oh, that's interesting. Rasmus Sandin is in. So is that because Muzzin is out?
yeah, we'll go talk about this a little bit later. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So, you have Makar, 1 goal, 3 assists
good.
yesterday. Retanen, Lesagog, and McKinnon have 3 points yesterday. McKinnon have 8 goals, Michael, in 5 games. This is a machine. This is a
He's a
Detroit Red
machine.
Wings 14, 15 years ago, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, or Colorado. Like it's like the old days, right, where they had like Forsberg and Sakic. They've got Rantanen. That backhand goal was phenomenal. Like I don't think anybody's stopping that.
Yep.
That you got contributions we were talking about from Saad, that line, the Joe Saad, the Chushkin line.
And
They just, it was pretty impressive.
so you have 2 incidents happening yesterday, Michael's on the game. First, the hit of Ryan Graves on John Mark. That would be the first one. What do you think about that? Do you see suspension? Do you see fine? Do you see a ring there or nothing
Maybe.
about that hit?
I mean, I hope not at this point. Maybe it's a fine, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't see this like maybe a fines, but I don't see
That's
anything
what I was
else.
thinking.
I did not see any other effect was late hit, right? And the fact like his head hit the board, but I don't see.
That's terrible.
I did not see charging. I did not see anything like you can suspend him. Now, after that, it was more about Ryan Greaves and in front of Gruber. And then after that, you get all the thing like that. And what do you think? Do you expect suspension about Ryan Reeves?
I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, it's hard to tell now. Like, it's like everything's under review suspension play, right? So, I don't know. You go back, it's hard to distinguish. If you go back 20 years, like those things would have not garnered too much attention. But we're obviously in a different era, so anything's possible. They could definitely affect the series and suspend some of these guys.
Yeah, I expect suspension on that case for me.
Do you really? Yeah.
1 to 3, I would not be surprised.
Or both?
No, Graves will be fine. The worst
Reeves?
Graves can get is fine. The rest, Reeves, you have nothing to jump on that guy over there. They was trying to run after him. It's not necessary. You have no reason to do that for me. And he hurt Graves during that play by squeeze his head, everything like that. But I don't want to judge him. I just want the consequence be after
I
that.
guess we'll see.
So I'll be very interesting about what happening there. Um, what I see right now is like Colorado have nobody to respond to that kind of physicality. I think that's Vegas have to change, be ready. Game number two. It's not fighting, Michael. It's the physicality of the game. Like hit more from those guys, from Ray's career and those kids, you know what I mean? Doc is a guy can hit, right? And I think he can bring that kind of quality of this. But overall, um, I my book, they did not show up. And sometimes you have to say, you have to trash the video, move on to the next one. And I think that's what Vegas should do, Michael.
Oh, just throw it out, start again. Not much you can do.
I don't think so. I think that's the end of the at the end of the day. You let move on, and you go be ready game number two, and I'll be interesting. I cannot imagine he's not come back with Flurry. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they're gonna come back with Flurry. Leonard might not get a sniff the rest of the series, depending on what happens.
Yeah, and this is the first time Peter Tobor does it to Fleury, if I can call it.
I know.
Last year,
remember,
did the
like,
same thing happening to him, right? When he came back or something like that. And we cannot blame Leonard. Leonard as like he's not a bad back. You know, the stat he got, he have a great stat, right? It's just like game number one, round number two, goaltender did not practice, play for the last 3 weeks, Michael. The chance he turn around this and then going to be like 94, 93 and make that game like 2-1, I would not see that. I was not expect that. Not again the best a team like Colorado is number one right now in NHL.
I mean, I think you got to, Flurry played a lot, but sometimes that's when guys get dialed in. I guess you got to make a choice there. But it felt like when he was going in, they were sacrificing game one, but I did not expect 7-1.
Yep.
It was like such a one-sided affair. I mean,
so we go more.
Shots, like.
So today I have a two big game. Of course, everybody's waiting for game number 7, Michael. That's
the biggie.
That's the big game. We know you have another game called Boston again, Islanders, of course, game number 2. But I think today it's all about the eyes is all about Toronto and Montreal Canadiens. Just give you an idea what's going on around at first. Like Yamo said, the Toronto have lost Jake Marsden. Is not going to be play tonight. They're going to bring back Sandin. So the third pair, the defenseman, is going to be Dermott and Marsden and Sandin. And then Precaution jump with Justin All. And then you have Riley and Brody. What do you believe that the impact of the injury that Jake Marsden going to do for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I think it throws things out of balance a little bit. Like, he's probably the most reliable physical presence. He can still shoot the puck and he can still help on offensive side. Everyone else is kind of like this. Hall's maybe not, but you look at, they got a lot of guys that like want to carry the puck a lot, maybe too much, and now you're putting in Sandin. So I think it just gives Montreal another opportunity. Montreal, I think, has been successful because they've got big physical defensemen, and I don't know what the response is for Toronto. Now, there's not, it's not like Bogosian's pretty intimidating, but I think he steps out of the play a lot. So if you're going to put him in for more minutes, he tries to make a big hit or try to get too aggressive sometimes physically, and it creates opportunity for the other team. I notice a lot, and that happened last year for Tampa too. So I think it'll be interesting. It's those little moves that matter. In the end, like, Toronto has to bring their A game. Like, they're playing tentative and scared. It's bizarre. They're afraid of their own selves. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah, as good as Carey Price is, I think that they can figure this out. So we got two Pierres going on there.
Yeah. So
Tavares is weird for me. I mean, definitely you want Tavares in. So I don't know. He's not coming back, right?
No.
He had a terrible playoff last year, Pierre. I mean, I think some of that was coaching. Like, putting him on the wing was a bad choice.
Yeah.
But you would rather have him at center as your second line center. I mean,
But he does not play right now, so it's not changing. he's not showing the impact of tonight.
That can't, none of these things can be an excuse because Toronto has so much depth. There should be zero excuse on this. They got all these graybeards. They got Thornton. Spezza stepped up. I think Spezza shocked me most. Like, he's hungry, like he's showing his offensive talent and he's showing some veteran savvy. He wants to win. I like Simmons, those things are helping. Nick Foligno has been kind of not that impactful, but you can see his energy out there. He's paid a lot for an energy guy.
Yeah.
But they still have a ton of talent, Pierre. Like, there should be no excuse here.
But for me, it's like, the impact of Marsden is going to create a big hole on the D side.
Yeah, for sure.
For this part, we know Tavares bring, but I think, they have to wake up the top three over there. I think Marner, Matthews have only 2 goals, 1 each.
Yeah,
they
haven't been
the
impacted
series. They have to step up there. The only one that the top 3 is doing well is Nylander. Have 7.6 games, 4 goals, 3 assists. That's the only one. But one player, special team and the X factor, I would say to you, I think, Toronto have only Michael 2 goals since the beginning of the playoff. In 19, I believe if I can see that. I think that hurt them. If they want to win tonight, they have to back up they have 3-21. Honestly, that's what what they are right now. But I think for me, that's what they have to figure out. They need to have a better special team for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get leader output, from Matthews and Marner. Like, they're not. They're their top 2 offensive players. Like, they've got to do the job. I don't care how old you are. It's time to produce. Like.
Yeah. On the flip side, Michael, the Montreal Canadiens, for me, is about they need to an application of their D. I think the D transition have to join the play. They have to pinching to the board. They have to be better on the offensive side. I'm talking about, Weber, Chariot, and Petrie. They have to get that sense of offensive tonight to get better chance to Montreal to win. The forecheck on the Leafs have to be unbelievable tonight. Not only on the D, but when I say forecheck, sometimes a good forecheck is not like behind the goal line. It could be a good forecheck like Corey Perry did on Sunday at the hash mark, lose a puck, and Jordan Armia score. So that's what I'm talking about, a good forecheck. Don't let them skating with the puck. Stop them right away at the beginning of the blue line for them. And that's what I'm talking about, a forecheck. And for me, the zone coverage have to be a great stick on the ice. The one Montreal play a great stick on the ice, Michael. This helping them because now they shoot the puck and the stick is there. Puck go in the net. The puck go out. Don't hit Price. So I think they need to win their battle in the corner. I know it's not easy, but I think they have to do that. And now I was talking about the transition have to be better. They have to get kind of the relents of the D join the rush and to bring the puck all the way and not always pass the puck and missing the puck. I think for me, if Montreal does it, Michael, that will helping the Montreal to win.
I think Montreal doesn't have to change too much. Like, I think they've been effective in winning 2 huge games. Now the ball's in Toronto's court, like how they counter what's going on. Because I think Montreal's played to their strengths. Their goalie's doing a great job. I worry a little bit if they start pinching in and stuff. Like, I don't think that's what you're necessarily saying, but I don't think that they should feel the pressure to generate offense. They're getting offense without having to press the play too much. They're kind of counter-punching, and I think that's why they've been effective, because Toronto's afraid. Toronto's not afraid of Montreal. They're afraid of themselves. They're afraid, oh, my God, here we go again. Now panic's going to set in. Like they're asleep at the wheel.
Yep.
Crazy echo here.
I think, just to answer to Yamo said Tavares skating this morning. Tavares skated with them since, last week on it's called the taxi squad, or he skate with the people behind. So usually that's what happening right now.
I think they should dress him, Pierre, and they should do what they did with Steven Stamkos in Tampa last year.
Well, it's something we talk about this. You know what I mean? Like
Might as well.
I think it could be something they can consider that. I think that would be good if they can join. He can join the team, right?
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you about that one over there for sure.
I think I would do it. It's like, can you play one shift, John Tavares?
The good news, the good news about this, Michael, they are around, right? He's around the team and talk with the players. He texts them, everything like that. You can see that kind of the leadership he has inside that team over there. Now, how concerned are you with Jack Campbell? His first time as a goaltender, game number 7 of his career, and you cannot have a bigger place to play a game number 7 like Toronto. So, what do you think about that?
For Campbell,
Yeah.
you're saying
Do you feel he's going to be nervous? Do you feel he's going to be like
probably.
that's his first time as a goaltender, compared to we talk about 17 time maybe for Carey Price. So how do you feel about his preparation, Campbell? Do you think could be an impact, an X factor or something? No, he was going to show up and he would be like normal. He would be ready to rock and roll, and don't see anything from his performance.
It is what it is. Like, he's their backup in the end, and he's a younger. Well, he's not that young. He's actually a '92, so he's a little older now. But he's not. He doesn't have this type of experience. He's not going to steal this game from Carey Price. He just has to be solid, and he can't be erratic in the net. We've seen it when he's at his worst in the net. He starts flapping around on his back or rolling around. You can see there's panic in the crease a little bit, and they've been able to cover some of that up. But in this game, that's going to be a huge difference. I mean, I think it's an X factor. We don't know how he's going to turn out. He hasn't won the last 2 games, Pierre.
Yeah.
So I think that they're at a disadvantage right now.
Now I'm going to ask this question for all the.
I don't think anybody's scared of KK.
Well, the fact is like he got score. He's got score. Jack Campbell. And my point is like he was an OT. It was his second shot, and you see Campbell did not make the big save. So that would be maybe an impact on the game number 7 as in, have a goaltender, his first experience. But I ask this question for everybody, and one you ask the same question to you can answer the time the people will answer back in the chat. But if I said to you, 2 X factor, 1 X factor of Montreal Canadiens lineup had to step up, maybe carry on the team for tonight, and then 1 X factor for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who do you believe is going to be? And this question is also for the people in the show this morning. Put your comments about those X factor.
I mean, the Carey Price is the answer for Montreal. That's the only answer. I think it would be nice if they got offense from Anderson and Toffoli, and that would be a big difference. If they got goals from both those guys, it might make a big difference. I don't expect Kotkaniemi to score consistently. He's done more than I would have expected at this point. It would be nice to see a Gallagher, Anderson, or Toffoli get on the board, and you probably need 2 of those 3 to do something.
Yeah. It's funny. For me, I will go it's not like I know Carey Price to step up on that, but I think for 2 players have to for me. One do well, one don't do well. I think Jeff Petrie is the one I want him to step up for Montreal. He's the one can carry on, the offensive, can carry on the puck, transition, and he can make that 1 or 2 point per game. I think that will help a lot to them to have that kind of quality game tonight. That would be something I need to expect from him. Yamu said Marner, Matthews, Petrie, Weber for the Habs.
For sure.
I agree with that part over there. And, that's what Matthews, Marner bring is the offensive side, right? And they are not show up so far. Great game last game of Weber, I'll be honest with you. Petrie struggled with on the defensive side. He did not show up, Michael. When we said Marner and Matthews struggled, I would say to you, Jeff Petrie struggled on the Montreal side. About that, I think he needs to step up tonight. I'm not worried about Carey Price, you know what I mean? Like, Toffoli pick it up, 4 point. couple of points the last couple of games. I think that's good for that. My next question to you is like, and you know him, what do you think about so far the performance of Alex Kerfoot with 6 point or 5 point already since the beginning of the series?
I mean, I think that that's more than you can expect from him, and he shouldn't be your leading assist guy. Marner should be. So I don't, maybe it's just the advantageous thing because Tavares is out and he's getting a little bit more top ice time. But I mean, good for him. You don't expect him to offensively impact your lineup like that, but that's what the playoffs are about sometimes. But even if he does that, and Marner and Matthews don't, then you got a problem.
Now, do you believe like you've been you grew up with the since you grew up in Ontario and in Toronto. I know you became a fan of the Detroit Red Wings, but you know the impact of Toronto Maple Leaf. If it's happened tonight, they lose the game. What do you feel? What happening in Toronto on everything, social media, players, Kyle Dubas,
It's gonna be a mess.
How do you feel about that?
Well, there's going to be, you can see what happened to Babcock, right? Steve Simmons gets fed information, and knives come out, and they start poisoning the water, and the team feels like we have to make a decision. I would hope that's not the case because they have a really good young GM, and you've had Steve for what, a year and a half? Is it more than that?
Keith
Yeah, like he's a year and a half in, right?
is there for he's complete his second year now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's like he came partially through last year, right? They replaced Babcock. So I mean, I think you got to calm down and be patient. I don't like some of the choices he made, and he did them again in the playoffs. I don't get it. It's small little things in the playoffs that make a huge difference, like putting Galchenyuk with Nylander over and over, and then seeing the turnovers and how they impact the game. Make it, sit one of them, i.e. Galchenyuk, or split them up. Like, you got to adjust. And that kind of concerns me a little bit. I'm sure because the news, weather, sports, politics are all Toronto Maple Leafs. In Toronto, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be.
For me, it's like
they feed off of it, Pierre. There's like this energy in Toronto about it that's like, oh, we're cursed.
Yeah,
and that's always been the way.
Yeah,
the only time it wasn't was when Pat Quinn was there.
They talk already this morning about curse on that, but for me, when I reevaluate everything right now, like we are now game number 7 today, right? Yeah, game number 7. For me, it's like Montreal did not do anything special to make where they are today. It's Toronto could not close
Toronto.
it. Toronto should shut down this on 5 game number 6, and should never have game 6 and 7 in my book. Montreal did not do like crazy. I think Toronto did not show up and cannot close that series yet, and that would be. And since the beginning of the series, I said more longer Montreal can hanging there, in the game. At the first period, second period, third period, they will have more chance to win. More longer to see in the playoff series, game 6, 5, 6, 7, better chance for Montreal. That's what my chance for Montreal tonight. They are better on my head versus before that, because I think the curse, the nervosity, the whatever they win, they lose Montreal. They can get out tomorrow, say, you know what, we bring them to the game number 7. And I think the pressure is more about Toronto because, and the book of many fans in the book of Toronto over there, they cannot lose. They cannot lose.
There's a
they cannot pass.
In Toronto. There's always like an inferiority complex about Toronto, and it's expressed through hockey. And the media piles onto it. So, you got guys like Steve Simmons, again, who just poisoned the well, and people... There's this underbelly of Toronto that is nothing's ever good enough and we're not capable, and it's self-defeating. If you look at the Toronto lineup, here's the weird thing for me is like, yes, you have a superstar in Matthews. You're not going to trade that guy. But Matthews is a very laid back, unusual talent. Like he's just a laid back personality. And then you look at Marner, and he's like a kid. So who is the killer on that team? If you look on Colorado, you go, McKinnon's a killer. You go, Landeskog is a leader, which is strange. Like he's not even their best player, but you go, this guy wants to win and he has an impact. Makar is maybe quiet, but he kills you on the ice consistently. Is that Morgan Riley? Because we've seen Morgan Riley, like, he's good. He's very, very talented. But is he, like, going to have that impact on the game? And I don't think anybody in Toronto has ever shown that.
Yeah.
And you're not going to look at Nylander for it. He's just going to try to do his fancy stuff. And, if you don't shut him down, then he's going to score, right?
And I think Carey Price bringing a good idea here. Like, if Montreal scored the first goal, that would be worst thing. The biggest nightmare for Toronto Maple Leafs is to Montreal score.
Yep.
I think.
But you got to be more resilient than that. Like they have to have a mentality like, in the end, we're going to win. And I'm the guy that's going to lead that team. And I don't know who that guy is. Even if Tavares is in, Tavares has not really been that guy.
No. But again, already, Michael, the people talking Toronto Orlando, like they already lost. Like they blame
That's what I'm saying.
They trash right now Matthews Marner.
It's ridiculous. It's just the nature of Toronto. It's very unfortunate, but they feed off. You know how you have like reality TV shows in the States, and you have like these housewife shows where they're all arguing and there's fights. And you go, or the Kardashians, like, why do people watch this? That is Toronto with hockey. And like Lou Lamoriello recognized it, and Lou Lamoriello came in and he limited the exposure of the players to the media, especially the young players. And before, they were just like served up on a platter to this machine, and that machine exists in Toronto. Like all the newspapers, all the TV, they have 2 sports channels owned by 2 of the teams, like owners. Right? Bell owns one and Rogers owns the other, and all the programming is hockey. So in the end, they're always slaves to that.
Breakfast tacos.
Thanks. Got breakfast tacos here.
Here we go. That's good. Yeah, good break. Good one over there. That's awesome.
When you go to Austin, you gotta have breakfast tacos.
Yamu said, 3 goals, is it enough?
3 goals to win it?
Montreal, yeah.
We'll find out. Right? Like, it's not like Carey Price is only letting in 1 or 2 goals a game. He's doing enough, though, to win. So that's how he can make a difference, right? Like, I think in the end, if Montreal gets shut down, then, yeah, you're in trouble. Yeah. I don't think Carey Price is going to hold it to 1 goal. Maybe I'm wrong.
We want to welcome Patrick Bove. Patrick is from Saskatchewan. He's a new subscriber last week, and he's a big fan of Vegas Golden Knight. His son, Michael, is the best goaltender for him is Marc-Andre Fleury. So I'm sure he was never happy to see his role model not in the net yesterday. I'm sure at that young age, sometimes you don't understand the decision. But thanks, Patrick, to show up this morning. I appreciate a lot. And I know it's early over there. So what, 9:50 maybe over there in Saskatchewan. So, yes, I think he's right also. I think he said he's only take 1 goal, right? It's a 1 shot at a time. Good morning, Pat. So I will see. For Yamo, he said the Toronto is a regular season team like Edmonton. What do you feel about that comments?
Well, it is. I think this has always been my argument against Toronto, Pierre. Like, they play a style that is, they don't adjust to the playoffs, right? They play a style that's fun for them. And they have I always felt like when you're turning on a coach like Mike Babcock because he's too hard on you, too bad.
Yeah.
That guy knows the game. That guy's won a Stanley Cup. He knows. He's coached better players than you. I mean, he coached Datsuk. He coached Zetterberg. He's coached champions. And these guys were consistent killers. He coached Anaheim to the finals. What have you done?
It'll be
Kyle
really
Dubas
interesting
wouldn't
how
want
Toronto is going to get out tonight. You know what I mean? Really interesting to see that. They have to step up for sure. The minor, and you know, for me, Toronto is all about Nylander, that series, right? And for me,
That's terrible.
my
Because
concern,
Nylander,
Michael, and he can have a good game also, Montreal, but when you have Galchenyuk, your top 6 players,
come on.
after he got, you know, 6-17 past him, right? And because he's not consistency, he can have a good game tonight. He's a guy can do that, but I think that's a
Look
red
at
flag for me over there.
no, he should not be in the lineup here. I would rather put a meathead in the lineup. Like his offensive contributions. This is why I say like they want to play this fun fire wagon style. That doesn't work. You have no control over the game. And if you look at what Babcock did, because he would like, for example, Zach Hyman has had a ton of success in Toronto, and Babcock loved the guy. I don't know if you remember, but Matthews was always complaining that this Hyman guy's on my line. I want to play with better players. Well, why was Babcock putting Hyman on that line?
Yeah.
Because he knows that guy's stirring things up. He's digging out pucks, and he can score. And you don't do those things. So now you got Marner and Matthews on the same line, and they're still not doing those things.
Yep.
And
What be
Keith
very
is not gonna
interesting
stand
about
up
that, you know, like Pat, you mentioned, be sure Montreal
make it-
don't stay in the box, right? You have to get out of the box for sure. You know, the power play is a bit off, but I think everything could happen. It's game number 7, Michael. You know this. It could be one way to another way. But usually those game number 7, Michael, it's not the best player make an impact like usually. You know what I mean? Like last game, it was Jen Mark. Kerry Venta did for Dallas, right? And then you have Justin Williams. When he did it, he was not the best player on the team, right? And back. So for me, before we leave, and for everybody, we have about a few minutes. Who's going to be the players you believe make a difference? Other like Carey Price and Austin Matthews and Marner. Who do you believe at the bottom could make a difference for Toronto and one for Montreal? Same thing for Yamo, maybe Patrick, other people in the and who's going to be you believe the players can make a difference for Montreal and one for Toronto?
Well, for Toronto, I think that I'm usually his top 6 minutes. I like the older guys, so I think Spezza's got to continue to play the way he's played. He's played pretty well, the best I've seen him, and I think that's who's got to have an impact for them. And we got to see something from a Nick Foligno or a Simmons.
So, Jason Spezza, you play for Toronto. What do you believe?
I think so.
For Montreal, do you have anybody for Montreal you believe can step up and boom, make a difference tonight?
I don't know why the name Jake Evans keeps popping in my head.
Jake Evans?
It'd be nice to see him it's like, whoa, what happened? Who's that guy? I think Jake Evans would be interesting. I think if they can get contribution from a Jake Evans, then that'll make a big difference because I think the top guys are doing their thing. But actually, the name that keeps popping out for me is Gallagher. I think Gallagher gets a goal, that could, lead to a few more. There's something about him. He's been playing very well. Josh Anderson really has not produced offensively, has he?
Yeah, Gator said Josh Anderson and Mike and Nick Foligno. That's other things. For some reason, I'll go with Mikheyev for Toronto. I think Mikheyev, he could be that one with his speed, everything like that, can make that difference right there. At some point I was thinking about Hyman, but Hyman is a little bit more at the top. You know what I mean? Like play with Marner and Matthews. And then for Montreal Canadiens, at some point, Gator said Josh Anderson also. I was thinking about Josh Anderson about that, but I want to go a little bit lower on the bottom of the top 6 over there. And I think for me, I'll be surprised maybe everybody here, but Paul Biron.
I was thinking, when I thought Jake Evans, I was thinking it's got to be him or Paul Buren. It's got to be one of those guys, right?
Yep.
Because I think if Montreal can get offense from one of those players and they play their normal pain in the neck game, that's going to
be really, really interesting to see that.
Pierre, the uglier this game is, the better it is for Montreal.
Yeah.
Like, make it ugly, man.
Get us anybody but Eric Stahl. I think the rookies tonight are going to shine for Montreal. Be interesting what Suzuki and Kokanemi is going to do. That'd be funny if his style make a difference. That'd be, he could. He can play, can do some stuff like that. Like he could score the last game. Michael, his Corey Prairie stopped the puck, but it happens during the game every time that. But that's conclude the show today. We know Michael was not going to have a lot of people because it's holidays and it's Memorial Day in the USA.
What do you think? Wait, we have one more game though. Who is your prediction in Boston, New York? Because the last game I was surprised at.
I feel like Boston are in mission, like Colorado is on mission, right? I know they have to step up, have a better. They need forecheck better, and everything like that. But I'll be hard right now to stop Boston. I put a little bit higher, like 7-6, but he cannot leave Boston win the next game if I know they have to do a long run.
Do we know is Sorokin back in net?
Who?
Which goalie for New York?
They are not confirmed yet.
That'll be interesting to see. I mean,
I'll go with Boston 4-2 and Montreal 3-1. So
those might be good scores, Pierre.
So Yamo said I was screaming when I saw Eric Stahl on the ice before the score, and then I screamed Paul Biron, and then Paul Biron get the pass to Kokanemi. So I predict the play before I see what's going on. It's so hard at the end of the day. It's just Montreal. Be proud of Montreal. They make Toronto only to the end.
God, yeah.
And I think it's good to see that. And it'll be interesting to see Toronto tonight. What game are him? It's going to be 7 more hours to wait. That would be crazy to wait all the way with there, Michael. I think I'll conclude the show for today. It's Monday 12. We want everybody to have an amazing, great Memorial Day. Enjoy it with your friends, your family. Make a time to thanks people, sacrifice their life for us, for the earth freedom. That's their day. They deserve that day today. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Yamo, for your great performance today. And Tim around. Patrick, thanks again, everybody else. And I know it's going to be a lot of, maybe, it's funny because, Michael, like last night, for me, I love those games because I love hockey, but whatever is going on the screen, I prefer to talk with people, right? I have a time to talk. I don't have to follow up. When Montreal play, nobody talk. Like they're all on the TV and we watch the game and we don't know. Like nobody talk on the screen on this. So it'll be interesting about that tonight. So Carrie, thanks again to show up this morning. Have an amazing, great day. Hopefully your lunch is ready to rock and roll. Your dinner tonight, your T-bone on the barbecue will be ready to smoke tonight because we need you. Take a nap, Carrie. Rest. And unfortunately, Tim and Terry are busy, Michael, today. They celebrate the Memorial Day. It's 12 o'clock. They did not show up yet. So I think it will be the rest of the day. So, Michael, anything you want to add before we go?
No, looking forward to the game starting.
Definitely, Michael. Have an amazing, great day, everybody. Look forward to see you tonight. 6:30, we're going to do a pregame show, and we're going to go all the way tonight, Michael. We'll see what happened.
Time to win.
All right, guys. Oh, before we go, we got someone here. I've been watching cheer. Thank you so much. Michael, we don't talk a lot about Villior, but Mr. V bring a lot of great comments. He did not make comment today, but he's always bring great comments about hockey at the show, usually in the morning, 11 o'clock, and sometime the night. But I just want to mention him before we go. Yamo, go get some nap. Rest, Yamo. He's already 7 o'clock over there in Finland, and be ready because he's going to be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And hopefully you're going to bring some shine from Kokanemi tonight. Unfortunately, Lekonen's not going to be. By the way, Michael, he talked with after Lekonen dad a couple of days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's friend with him. So I tried to squeeze a bit to bring him on the show at some point. So it will be interesting.
Invite him on.
That'd be awesome. Thank you, Michael. Have an amazing, great day, everybody. Look forward to see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mark Patrick. See you tonight. Thanks, Pat. Can't wait, Carrie, to get you T-bone. And like we do at the end of each video, remember,
you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. You are
no problem,
awesome.
Michael. Next time.
You are.
Don't forget to click on likes. Have a good day, everybody. Happy Memorial Day.